We'll start with Blake Murphy from The Athletic.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Hey, Blake, how you doing, man?
Good. Me and Jason, everyone get down here okay?
Yes, they did. Yeah, they had a really good flight, and they were excited to get to our house yesterday. So it was really nice to have them here. Absolutely. Thanks for asking.
Happy to hear it. We just talked to Paul, and I had asked him to reflect back on your time in Uruguay together. I know that he's a guy that you were pretty high on right away, and told Chad Sanders, we should get this guy into our system. What does it mean to you to see him kind of, not the end of his path here, but get to this level now after a year with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's really nice to see a journey like his, right, Blake? I think a player like him who played in the G League for 2 seasons without really much fanfare or much recognition, and then his career shifted that little bit. And all the credit goes to him. I got to coach him in Uruguay on this G League select team, and really liked him and decided, hey, let's try and get him in our 905 system. And he just really started to excel once he came to us. And then I think for me, the best part of the story was he got his 10-day, and that was sort of his first taste of, wow, the NBA is possible for me. And he did his 10-day in Atlanta, and then he came to us on a 2-way. And to see this next step and to see him join our roster sort of officially is just a great step in his career. And I think it shows that it's possible. And I think the NBA is such an incredible league that you need those stories where people can say it is possible to do it, if you weren't sort of touted from the age you were 12 years old or something like that.
Thanks so much, Jama.
Thanks, Blake.
Thanks, Blake. We'll go to Steven from Sportsnet.
Hey, Jam. Thanks for doing this.
No problem,
man. Paul kind of told us that he kind of shared like a hug with you after he signed the contract, I believe on Friday. I just want to know, just like given your long history that you kind of briefly spoke about with Paul, like how validating is this for you as a coach? Kind of seeing him kind of reach this level that he's now signed to a full-time NBA contract.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's more the player, right? I mean, they're the ones that get the contract. They're the ones that get the credit. He did the work. For me as a coach, it's great. It's sort of a reward in general as a coach to see someone succeed. That's why we coach in many ways, right? To allow people to be successful and to help them on in their careers and their lives. And Paul's just this wonderful example of that for me personally. But I think all coaches, we want the players to do well. And for Paul to sort of reach this level, and listen, there's a lot more to come. I told him as well, I gave him a hug and said, congratulations. But I said, now we got to get better now. We can't just stay in the same place. And so he's on that trajectory moving forward, and just happy for him most of all.
And since we've seen Paul up with the big club in the Raptors, he's looked like he's kind of fit in seamlessly with the club. Is that just because there's been consistent messaging between the Raptors and what you guys were doing down in Raptors 905 last season?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think like a good example is in the bubble, and Paul was in the bubble with the team, and he's getting a lot of coaching and sort of a lot of play. And in those seeding games, the early games, he got some good minutes in some of them. And talking to him after, he said to me, I fit in, coach. And that's important, right? He knows he's an NBA player, right? He knows he fits in at this level. And so now the challenge is to do it more and to sort of work his way through it. But yeah, building time with the 905 and the same terminology and the same system has helped him to get where he is now.
Great. Thanks so much, Coach.
Thanks, Steven.
Thanks, Stephen. We'll go to William Liu from Yahoo Sports Canada.
Hey, Coach. I want to ask you, what did you get out of the G League experience the last few years, and what do you think Coach Patrick and Brittany will get out of it now that they're cycling down there?
Yeah, thanks for the question, William. I think that for me, the experience was life-changing in my development as a coach. Being an assistant coach is one thing, and I in tremendous career and enjoyed it and was developing and helping players get better. But it truly is a fundamentally different job to be a head coach. And the 2 years I spent doing it, I'll always take amazing lessons of how to actually really coach the game, and how to work with your players and how to find a way to get wins. And I think for me, I can support Coach Nurse now differently than I could have before because I have head coaching experience. So I know what that seat looks like, and it allows me to find ways to work the entire team, to see the bigger picture, and it's just sort of honed my craft. So I'm just really thankful for the chance I had to do it, and now to be able to bring that information back to the big team, and help the success of our group here.
That's great. And of course, over your time with the 905, you've seen players who have made that jump from that G League level to the NBA level consistently, maybe from the 2-way contract to the NBA contract consistently. I think maybe specifically asking about a guy like Utah. So he hits the 2-way spot this year. From what you've seen, what does it take to really jump from that, succeeding at the G League level to getting a permanent spot at the NBA level?
I mean, it's a big jump, right? I think to me, sort of your 13, 14, 15 on an NBA roster, and then your two ways, and maybe your last, your next best G League player are all in the same conversation generally. But it's a major jump to crack a rotation. I think that's where Utah's trying to get with us, right? He's trying to find a way to be now in this NBA system, be in our system, and can he play some minutes regularly and not just be someone who's sort of on the periphery? And everyone has a challenge that they're looking for, and I think Utah's ready to accept that challenge and see what he can do with us and try and make some noise. Listen, he shoots the ball really well, better than I think his stats maybe show, but most importantly, he plays the game the right way. He plays defense the way we want him to play. He does all the little things, and he's a great teammate. Guys love him, right? And so I think I've heard a bunch of people say, I want him on my team. That's a real compliment for someone young like him.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Thanks, Will. We'll go to Ed from the Tampa Bay Times.
Hi, Coach. How are you doing today?
Good, Ed. Nice to meet you. Happy to be along with us. Thanks for covering us.
Hey, I hope Tampa's treating you okay.
It's great so far. I love it.
Hey, for some of the fans who are kind of being introduced to this team, you guys are such an organization that has such a good reputation with player development. Why do you think that is? What's behind it? You're talking to Paul. You talked about there's a culture here that concentrates on that. If you were going to tell someone about why you guys are so good at that, how would you kind of describe it?
I'm not going to give you all the secrets right away, Ed, but we got some good ones. And I think listen, we put the players in a situation where they can succeed, but in doing so, we work collaboratively. So our organization is really great from a front office to a player wellness to an on-court development to a coaching standpoint. We all come together to help that player along with his journey. So we try not to have anyone fall through the cracks or have any part of their life fall through the cracks. And that makes the basketball part easier. So I think holistically, we care after the entire athlete. And I think that's part of the reason that we're able to develop players and help them along and put them into successful situations.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Ed.